Today I'm here at the LA Auto Show taking a look at the 2024 Kia Sorento. This is the smallest three-row in Kia's lineup, and yes, it is continuing for 2024. So if you want something that's a bit easier to park than the Telluride, you might want to take a look at this. Let's check out the design first. You'll notice that the front end has definitely been tweaked. It still has a bit of the tiger nose theme going on, but it's definitely a different front end design than we found before. So if you didn't care for the Sorento last year, you might want to give it another try. We also have a much more expressive headlight setup with these multi-module LEDs, something that we've been seeing not just in the Kia lineup, but also in their sister company Hyundai. Big DRLs there too, and they're amber, which apparently is something that some Kia shoppers have really been interested in. And the front end is going to change depending on the trim that you get. So this is the new, more off-road capable version of the Sorento. So it has a slightly different grille insert and some sort of satin chrome accents right there, versus the shinier parts that we found on this plug-in hybrid over here. Let's get back to this one because yes, the plug-in hybrid is returning for 2024. There are going to be several different engine options: a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, a 2.5-liter turbo engine with a dual clutch transmission, or a base 2.5-liter engine with about 191 horsepower. So pricing is probably going to stick pretty close to the existing Sorento. I've always thought the Sorento was a really good value because if you're shopping for a RAV4 or a CRV, this is in basically the same price range as far as the lower end versions go, but you're going to get a lot more room inside. Moving around here to the back, you'll notice we also get redesigned taillights. They mimic the shapes that were going on up front. This one, of course, is again the plug-in hybrid model, so we get that plug-in hybrid badging right there. We also have a hitch receiver available at the bottom. Let's check out the cargo area in the back. Oh, sorry, the release is now down there at the bottom of the hatch. Coming in for a close look, you'll notice that one of the compromises for the Sorento versus a lot of three-row vehicles. We have a smaller cargo area behind the third row. The third row, the second row, and the first row themselves, they're really not far off of a Toyota Highlander in terms of size, but that cargo area behind, that definitely has a bit of compromise involved. Now you can see that we still have basically the same cargo area that you'd find in the regular Sorento. We do have a little bit less storage space back there, but the compromise for the plug-in hybrid model, it's not too big. Now let's go ahead and close the hatch and check out the rest of this. There are enough changes in here that some companies might try and call this a redesign, but Kia's just calling it a refresh. The doors are pretty similar to before, including the style of those little sections right there around the door handle. The air vents are also pretty similar to what we saw before with the general shape there, but the dashboard itself is quite different. The biggest change, of course, is this big two-screen LCD setup that we have over here in the dashboard. The instrument cluster software definitely appears to be a revised version of what we've had before, as does the software here in the center console. So this doesn't appear to get the next generation of software like we find in the upcoming Genesis GV80 and GV80 Coupe, but they have definitely redesigned the look and feel, also some of the software sections giving us a bit more information than we had in the past. Now moving down from there, we do still have this dual-purpose little LCD bank here, where this is not just infotainment controls, it's also climate control. I'm not the biggest fan of that particular touch. Down here we have the new USB input scheme for both Hyundai and Kia, so I fully expect this system to support wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. This little button here allows you to select what that port does, whether it's just charging or charging and interfacing with the system. That's a little lid to cover that up. We have lots of shiny black plastic. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but you notice we no longer have what appear to be grab handles on each side for the driver and passenger, but we still have the toggles for the heated and the ventilated seats. We have a rotary shifter right here, Sorento spelled out, drive mode selector, heated steering wheel over there, auto brake hold, etc. And then behind all of that, we have a large padded center console with a reasonable amount of storage. Remember that in terms of interior dimensions, this is pretty darn similar to the Toyota Highlander. Moving out from there, we have the latest Kia steering wheel. It's pretty similar to the one that we found in the outgoing Sorento model. And you'll still find lots of premium touches available in the top-end trims, like power extending thigh cushions and four-way adjustable lumbar support, depending on the model that you get. The seat design, it's pretty similar to before as well. As is the second row. When we take a look back there, the second row seats flip and fold forward pretty easily. Not much of a change to the center console design back here for the rear passengers. I'm going to have Travis jump into the second row so we can see how he fits in there. It seems to be a reasonable amount of room. Head's almost touching the ceiling there, but we do have that panoramic moonroof. You could skip that option if you wanted a bit more room. And then go ahead and hop back there into the third row. Let's check that out. You can see he can go back there through that middle section And obviously it's going to be a bit more of a squeeze, with an adult's head definitely touching the ceiling. But the rear seat is a two-person seat, so that we don't have to try and squeeze 3 people across. And that means that in this particular trim, it's going to be a 6-seat vehicle only. That is an extra seat versus a RAV4 or a CR-V. So keep in mind that this is kind of competition for both RAV and something like the Highlander. If you want to get your hands on the new Sorento, you will have a little bit longer to wait. These should be on sale sometime in the first half of 2024, although exact sales details I don't have just yet. I also don't know pricing for the Sorento yet. This is likely going to stick pretty close to the existing model, so again, definitely sort of a bridge model between a RAV4, a Sportage, a CR-V, etc., and that next category up where we find Highlander, where we find Pilot. I've always kind of liked the right-sized nature and right-priced nature of the Sorento, and I do expect that to continue. You could probably expect price tags to increase maybe $1,000 or so, but again, keep in mind that we don't have any of those details just yet. This very blue model is the hybrid model, and you should also know that we don't have all the details on exactly what changes may or may not be happening to the hybrid system. We could get some tweaks to fuel economy, we could get some tweaks to range, we could also get some tweaks to power. But since this is just a mid-cycle refresh, I don't expect those changes to be earth-shattering. They're probably going to be relatively minor. If you want to know more about the 2024 Sorento, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom of your screen. Hopefully I'll be driving one of these in the first half of 2024. At that point, I'll probably know more about it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Find me over at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those other social places. I'll see all of you later.